All right, welcome in, boys. We are not live. This is being recorded right now because I know people are going to ask in the YouTube chat. They ask every week. This is being recorded Thursday night, probably go live. I've eaten a lot of shit publicly over the last 6 weeks. I've come on here every week and said, well, I guess I suck at this now. I sucked again this week. Week after week after week, finding the most horrific ways on fucking earth to lose a bet. But it finally swung a little bit for us. Picked up 40 units this past weekend. Hopefully it continues to go. I'm not getting excited yet. This is a big weekend coming up. I would like to get this one under our belt. If we can do that, I will feel good about us moving forward. But I'm not there yet. But Scotty got it done for us in a big way. Chris Bell got it done for us in a big way. Scotty and Bell got it done for us in a big way. We hit the open with Hocevar for a couple decent sized bets. Joey top 3 was nice. So at the end of it, it was good, man. Picked up about 40 units, Meyer. I know you have not been going through it the way that I have. You've had a little bit better luck lately, but it was nice to see one go through the hoop, dude, after eating a lot of shit the last 6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, how about 40 of them going through the hoop?
That would be cool. That would be cool. 40 races or 40 units?
No, I'm just talking about your 40 units just bank right through the hoop.
Yeah.
Never missed a beat. Never missed a beat.
Never missed a beat. Let's just listen, I'll be in a much better space if we could move this momentum to the next week and see a second one go through the hoop. I will be in a good place. What were your takeaways from the All-Star race? My takeaways were tires actually mattered. And you could pass the leader. If you were willing to push him up the track a bit, you could get by him if you had newer tires. But the car is still a piece of shit. There's really no reason to lie about it. It is what it is. Car sucks. But it was better than we have seen, I guess, on a short track over the last couple years, I'd say. I mean, it's hard for a race to suck when we crush, but I was okay with the day, considering we saw some tires matter, and considering you were able to pass the leader if you pushed them up the track a bit.
Yeah, I guess my main takeaways from the race was I thought the race was pretty decent. I wouldn't say there was like passing was due to the car. It was more due to, like you said, the tire. Logano got passed by Bell because Bell was on 4. The race strategy was not to take 2. The heat strategy was definitely to take 2. So that showed up in a big way. I more complain about the Fox's coverage. Not being able to go side by side in your All-Star race. The promoter's caution was a joke.
Why? Why do you feel that way?
It's just the fact that they made this huge spectacle. Waltrip drops the flag. We shoot fireworks off. We shoot fireworks off for the caution.
Yeah, promoters caution fireworks, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say we can all rejoice in the fact that that was the last Fox broadcast of the year. Looking forward to seeing what this Amazon package is going to look like. They did some pretty cool stuff with Thursday Night Football. They teased a lot more kind of widgets that we can see. The one thing that I think will kind of affect us now is they've talked about this live chase clock that they have, basically a determining factor of how long it will take the person to catch the car in front of them, like a live stat. So we'll see how that works out. They did promise low latency, so just as fast as cable, if not faster. I don't know if I believe that.
I don't know how that's even possible. How could
they said they ran 4 miles of fiber at Charlotte for this, so we'll see. I mean, high hopes. Can't be worse than Fox, I tell you that.
Yeah, I guess my only worry about, moving over to Prime is, are we going to be an extra 35 seconds behind? Because as of right now, we need every fucking minute that we have.
We need every second.
Yeah, 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 literally every second over the book. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm cautiously pessimistic.
I mean, that's the safe way to be when it comes to the sport right now. We get Dale back in the booth with Steve Letarte. Should be a good booth. Not
Love
that you
Dale.
ever listened to the race,
True.
but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't think the product could be any worse than Fox. So there's that.
If I have, you want to know what my number one gripe coming out of the All-Star race is? And it's really just been that way for a long time. I don't understand how these crew chiefs have jobs, some of them. Like, eh, I just SVG Meyer
Oh, I know. I
in the
yelled
in the
multiple
open.
times.
We should have
We should have been skipping to the
we should have
finish line
yeah,
with those tickets.
we should have cashed two really nice tickets on him. It's just crazy that he took, what did he take, 4 instead of 2?
Yep, and I was screaming before they even went down. The strategy is 2, not 4. Couldn't believe he took 4.
It's unreal. It's I like, if we know it, how did they not know it? I just can't square that in my brain.
Yeah, I don't know what more data they needed to see in a 100 lap heat run that or 75 lap heat run that 2 was the move. You just need a track position. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
like, he was literally drawing dead the second you seen the guys move over to the other side of the car
Certainly.
for the other 2 tires. I don't know. It's just we see it week after week where somebody on the box cost us money in some type of way. It happens every week.
Well, I say
I
we did dodge a bullet there with Priest just deciding to not choose. That was fun.
That was yeah, yeah.
Gave us a little bit of a buffer, although I don't know if he would have actually passed Hocevar for the lead, just considering how much momentum was wrapped up into that outside lane. Uh, speaking of the race itself, also frustrating to see Chris Bell repeatedly choose the bottom on restarts when clearly the outside was the lane to
Yeah,
be in.
yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, it's not without a fault. I mean, it's easy to sit here and tell a race car driver how to race their car, but it seems like some moves are obvious.
Yeah. But all in all, can't complain. Finally got on the right side in a big way, and hopefully we can continue the momentum to this week. Big racing weekend. We got Charlotte. NASCAR's got all 3 series running. We have the Monaco GP for F1. We have the Indy 500, which Larson is pulling double duty. So a lot of opportunities to make money.
Don't forget about the General Tire 150,
What is that now?
the ARCA,
That's not
ARCA
real.
race.
That's not real. If I can't bet on it, it's not real life, Meyer.
Grant Enfinger's racing in it. I have to do a little bit of digging.
I hate you. I hate your guts. When you cash a ticket in that race, I don't want to hear about it. You understand?
I'll just send you a picture. It's all right. We don't want to talk about it.
So we don't have any MMA this weekend, which is what we normally tie our stuff to with NASCAR or the NFL. They're both off, obviously. So I'm going to be using F1 because of how hard it is to pass at Monaco. Just got to guess the guy who's good, at least
Well,
the 2 guys that
you,
are going to be up front.
you are aware that they have a mandatory 2 stop this year, right?
But if they cycle out the way that they probably should, do you think that's really going to affect the race in a big way?
Yeah, I mean, some of your best opportunities are undercutting the leader, right? That's all how it shakes out. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm an F1 aficionado, but it is worth noting that there is a mandatory 2 stop. I don't believe it was that last year. We'll have to check with the guys in the know, but just something to keep in mind for breaking down that race.
I know Stein said he's going to be on Max. I'll probably be on Piastri and somebody, either Max or Lando. All right, so let's talk about this race. Longest race of the year, 400 laps. The track is going to change immensely over the course of the day. So many times, well, when I bet this race over the last 20 years, cars that look like absolute world beaters early in the race, like you and I were talking about earlier today, they just fall off a cliff. And then all of a sudden you see these cars coming late after the track changes, after it gets a little cooler, and you really start to see cars come out of nowhere sometimes at Charlotte. And it tends to be Ford a lot of the time, because clearly in the next gen car, when these races start in the day and they're on the longer side and they transition into the night, Ford's had a pretty decent edge. Like when you look at where those guys were running as the track changed, if the guys up front can't really keep up with the changing track, people start coming out of nowhere, man. And all of a sudden you think you're in a great spot and you're drawing dead real quick. So it's definitely a tough race. It's a marathon. I don't like the fact that the fastest guy on the track right now is going to go run 500 miles somewhere else earlier in the day before he goes and runs 600 miles at night. But I mean,
there's a non-zero chance that they get rain in that forecast, by the way.
Non-zero.
Yes.
You're talking about Indy.
Yes.
But you said that he's on record saying that no matter what, even if he has to leave, he will be there for the start of the.
He is prioritizing the Cup race because they built in the Kyle Larson rule this year. Remember that he won't get a waiver.
Oh,
he
right.
will start the playoff with 0 playoff points. Right. I think he will make the early call. If they don't think they're getting it in, he's out. They already have a backup driver on hand for his Indy car. He qualified 21st. I don't think that him winning is necessarily in the cards. Obviously, he doesn't want to miss this Cup race. He said he's going to prioritize the Cup race first. So he'll be there for qualifying. I don't think there's any on-track activities for Indy on Saturday, so I would assume he's at the track running qualifying, doing all the normal stuff in the Cup Series.
What do you think the best comp track is for Charlotte?
Would you say more Texas, Vegas?
I don't know.
Who do you think has the more appropriate tire wear? There's some moderate tire wear at Charlotte, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, does it have the tire wear that Darlington has? Not really. That's kind of in its own planet in terms of tire wear. Vegas has been getting more tire wear lately, wouldn't you say? The last few years, I feel like the tires have been wearing a little more.
Yeah, you're probably right as the track gets older.
I don't know. I kind of look at all of them, all the cookie cutters in totality, really.
Yeah, if you consider this a high speed 1.5, right? There's Vegas, Texas, Kansas. Do you think there's tire fall off at Kansas? That's similar to Charlotte.
Did we see a ton of tire fall off a couple weeks ago?
I'm trying to remember back.
I don't really remember either.
I'd have to look at the lap times again to see.
I think I'm just going to treat it like it's another one of these high 1.5 high speed intermediates. I don't think there's like one track that stacks up better with Charlotte than the rest. I don't know. I have to ask Coop and Ryan. what
Well,
they think
and
about
as
that.
like you said, this is really an endurance race too. Like the people they're going to set their cars up completely different than anywhere else because they're trying to stay ahead of track changes, right? You want the track to come to you. You don't necessarily want to be, like you said, a world beater early.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
So like you'll see cars get tight late, get loose late. It's all about whoever sets up and makes the proper adjustments to predict where the track's headed.
All right. Let's look at the odds in the outright market. Kyle Larson's your leader, 5-1. I mean, what is there really to say? The guy is just has he not been the fastest guy?
So I wrote up a little thing on Larson. So he has the highest true performance rating in all of the intermediate package. He's number one in the speed ranking at Las Vegas, number one at Texas, number one at Kansas.
That's what I'm saying. So I
It's
mean,
Kyle Larson.
he hasn't not been the fastest yet on a 1.5 mile intermediate, like
Yeah,
cookie
yeah.
cutter at least.
His average true running position in this package this year is 6.6.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. And he's logging 15% of his laps are fastest laps ran. I mean, it's just Kyle Larson. And like, I don't know how you could go into this race if you're going to bet anybody not have a ticket on him. He's going to qualify. He's going to qualify last.
Good.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's going to qualify last. You'd expect him to be up front. HMS Motor has put it on the pull for every intermediate this year.
Yeah, I if you're going to bet the outright market, it's impossible for you not to have a ticket on him. The problem is like 5-1 is just not good enough.
I think there's a 6 out there if you want to split hairs, but yeah.
You're going to have to get that number up on him, like especially if you bet these races the way that we tend to have like coverage of people that we think are going to be a player. But I mean, I guess you could just bet Kyle Larson and like bet it and forget it and then just ride with that guy. And maybe you'll have the opportunity to get on one or two guys during the race. But God, that number sucks, man. For as long as that race is, and like he might get 500 miles in before he even gets to the track. I mean, that's just a fucking low number. But I mean, guy's a lightning bolt. So what? I mean,
what are you doing?
How are you not going to be on him? I mean,
right?
Yeah. So I'm with you. I'll try to have a couple tickets on him.
And you just brought up a good point. I mean, even if you go in with just a Larson ticket, I mean, how long is it before you're actually looking to live bet anybody? I mean, if you're fast in stage 1 or stage 2 of 4 stages, by the way, when do you feel comfortable with betting somebody?
I agree with that 100%. I don't think I'm going to bet anybody live until the second half of the race.
Yeah, you want to let the sun go down, right? You want to see how it changes as the sun sets.
Yep. Like, obviously, we'll have our people going into the race. But once we're there, I just don't think that there's not a reason to make another bet until what time is this race supposed to start?
I think it's late. Let me check. You can keep talking while I get the actual data.
Yeah, I know it's normally a pretty late night, right? Because isn't everybody off the next day? Is this like a holiday week?
Yeah, I mean something's coming up, right? Isn't it the end of May? Like
Is it like a Memorial? Yeah, is it
Yeah.
Memorial Day? Yeah, I know.
So green flag goes to 6.
Yeah, so this race is still going to be going at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, buckle up. Where there's going to be a lot of laps turned.
A lot
between everything this weekend.
And like if you see guys that are like early in this race, 100 laps into this race, where you're like, I got to get on this guy because you got to think twice about that in this kind of race with how long it's going to be, how cold it's going to be later that night, and how the track's going to change.
So almost a super speedway type thing, right? Where you're just looking to survive until the later half.
Kind of. Yeah, for sure. At least that's the strategy that Coop and I have always had when we bet this race. Go in with our guys, and then we try to have we wait until the track turns. But yeah, Larson will be one of the guys that will be on, obviously, before the race starts. Tyler Reddick 7-1. Tyler Reddick. Reddick has the best average finish here, I think, in the next gen era. I mean, but when you look at his speed this year at Vegas, at Darlington, Kansas, and Texas, he was in the top 3 in speed everywhere except this Kansas race that just happened, which is a very weird result for him. He started 4th. He did not finish one stage inside the top 10. But, it's been literally the only blemish he's had on a high-speed intermediate in a very long time. You might get to a few names before you're looking to back him this week, but probably not a ton of them in terms of guys that you want to target before the race starts. It's hard not to think he can't contend for the win despite the Kansas result based on the speed that he's shown at every mile-and-a-half track since 2022. So I don't know what I'll do with Tyler Reddick this week, Meyer, but I get people taking the shot on him.
Yeah, this is where, I don't know if I'd put him second here. I mean, I get why he's here, but I don't think personally he would be the second guy on the board that I would bet. He does come in, rated 4th in the package, true performance rating, 3rd at comps. Like you said, he was fast at Vegas. He was fast at Texas. I bet him to top 10 at Kansas. He's top 10 to Kansas every year in the next gen car. Sit the bed. Car was not fast. I don't know what happened. He continued to fall back throughout the race at Kansas. I think he came in late, probably more of a pit road thing. But the car was not good. Not what I expected at all at Kansas. So, yeah, I'm probably not in a rush to bet Reddick of the guys I think we're looking to target.
Yeah, I that's probably where I'm at too. Although I think the number is fair. Like I'm looking at FanDuel right now, and him being 7-1 and Denny Hamlin being 7-1, based on the speed these two guys have shown in the package, the math is not mathing. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like number at 7-1 on Reddick looks a lot more fair when Denny is 7-1 this week.
And Reddick has great track history at Charlotte, right? He's 3 for 3 at putting in the top 10. Two out of the 3, he's top 5.
Yep.
Like he is solid, and like you said, he has the best average finish in the next gen car here. So,
yep.
I mean, if you take the track history at Charlotte here over recent race history at Kansas, obviously he deserves to be where he is.
Yep, agree. Denny Hamlin 7-1. To me, Denny is one of like you and I were talking about earlier. I kind of feel the same way about him as I do about Chase Elliott this week. Like you cannot. I know it's Denny Hamlin, and I know that if you look at 2022, 2023, and 2024 in this package, maybe Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson and Byron are the only guys in the conversation that have been as good as him. But when you look at this year and how much of a dog shit rat that car is on these high speed mile-and-a-halves, with the exception of what he did at Kansas in this last race, 7-1 is a joke, in my opinion. Now, could you have a feeling about him this week? Sure. I got a feeling about a guy this week that's not that far off the number. And you're going to want to get that number up, though, because you can't sell me on the fact that fair market value for Denny Hamlin this week at Charlotte is 7-1. That's crazy to me. But could he be one of these guys that comes out of nowhere? I guess he could, because he looked a lot better at Kansas than he did at Vegas and Texas. But I don't know. I have to see it. Which sucks, because at that point, we're not going to have the opportunity really to tie him to anything to get the number up, because it's going to be the last thing of the weekend. But I just don't feel like punting $1,000 on him, hoping that he shows up with that speed that he had at Kansas. Where are you at on Denny?
Doesn't this number feel like they are just heavily weighing track history here, not so much recent run this year? Because, like you said, he was ranked. He was 20th in speed ranking at Vegas. He was 29th at Texas. Now, it's worth noting at Texas he had that engine failure early, so I mean, clearly the car wasn't right. So if you throw that out the window and you weigh in what we saw at Kansas, I truly think that Denny had the best car at Kansas if he doesn't have that clutch issue. I mean, he carved through the field repeatedly. Even when they had to push his car off pit road, he was fast. So it never came to fruition because of the clutch issue and he had to park it. But I mean, even Denny said that car was fantastic. So
Do I think that yes, because he's got to win here in the next gen era. He's also got another top 5 here in the next gen era.
2 top 5s.
Well, yeah,
obviously with the win.
Right. So I mean, like, yeah, they're definitely pricing it off track history. And was he
He's
the
really
best?
good at qualifying here too. His average starting position here is 5th.
Was he the best?
I'm just going by the eye test. I'm not going by the.
I don't know, but he was very. I don't know if he was the best car, but he was very good and much better than he was at any other cookie cutter this year for sure. And he's real good here. But like I asked Greg and Ryan what they thought about him this week too, and they were like, the problem is that like JGR just has had no speed on these intermediate tracks this year. And like, that's really fair. Really fair. When you look at what Briscoe's done, what Bell's done.
Briscoe has the most alarming speed of any JGR car, which is crazy because Gibbs hasn't been great either. But if you look at the adjusted speed out of the 19 car, it is terrible. Like, there might not be another better driver that's outperforming the speed of his car than Chase Briscoe this year. If you look at Ryan's rankings, it's pretty crazy. But, I mean, it wouldn't shock you one bit if Denny shows up, right?
Oh, you're saying that Briscoe's running
way better than his speed his car has.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll buy that, but his car's got no speed at all.
Correct. He finished Kansas pretty decent. I don't know if it was a true indicator of where that car should have been had there been no, fuckery in the race, right? But
right. Ryan Blaney, 750. We bet Ryan Blaney. I got 8-1. I assume you got somewhere around the same. I might throw another half unit on Ryan Blaney just to try to get a nice ticket, maybe with something with F1. Here's what I'll say. I kind of feel like he's losing his mojo a little bit, Meyer. Like, there was a 6-week period in the season where there was nobody faster on the track, and it wasn't even close. Not even Kyle Larson. Wasn't close. Now, I don't know if he's kind of maybe losing a little bit of his edge. Because now, like, the DNFs aren't happening, motors aren't blowing, the excuses aren't really there, but that insane lightning bolt speed hasn't really been there lately either. But he has a win here at Charlotte. He's very good here. When you look at his average finish, you're like, meh, which is fair, but he's in a Ford. I think it is going to benefit Penske and a couple Ford teams as this track changes at night and it gets cooler. And I think he's going to be one of the guys that are coming late. He still has some of the best long run speed this year, definitely. But I feel less good about him probably than I have at any point this year when I've pulled the trigger on him. But there is a 0% chance that this guy is going to cash his first ticket on Sunday, and I'm not going to be on him. So I'm on Blaney. But, you know, as good as he's been in the package this year, kind of have my concerns a little bit, but I'm going to be on him. Where are you at on Blaney?
Yeah, I bet him 9-1. I feel like he's finally putting a race together. He had the second best speed ranking in Kansas last week. Like the cars just continue to carry speed. His track history here is really skewed because he's only finished one race in the next gen era, and that's the race
Right.
that he won. His last race, the race last year, I don't think they seeded the lug nut fully. He went straight in the wall, wrecked his day out early. He also wrecked in 2022. He finished stage 1 and 7th after driving up from 16th. So, I mean, he is good. He continues to be good in the 1.5. Like you said, is right now it feels like we're just trying to break even on Ryan Blaney for the year, but
Imagine.
it would be vindication if he goes out and he truly shows up with a car that he's capable of having and has shown.
Imagine saying that sentence out loud, though. We're trying to break even on Ryan Blaney. There should be no guy that's caked us out more this year than Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, and like it feels crazy going to a racetrack where he can't finish. 1 win, 2 wrecks in 3 races. I mean, is that not the most Ryan Blaney thing?
The last 3 times he finished the race, though, third, first.
I mean, that's just not good. Just not going to not have a Ryan Blaney ticket in my pocket as we go into this race.
Yeah. Because if he does, if that motor doesn't blow, if that tire doesn't go, we're fucking live.
And he qualifies. It's crazy. They have not released a qualifying order. One of the folks over in the Win the Race Discord did post the metric that I believe he calculated on his own based off of the data from Bob that Bob calculates. He will go off third to last. So assuming that car has any sort of qualifying speed, he should finally start in a decent spot.
Yeah. So we're on Ryan Blaney, and we're definitely going to be on Larson so far. Reddick and Denny, probably not. Bell, 750. Okay. I'm planting my flag this week. Chris Bell is my dark horse of the week. Now, when you look at the odds board, you're going to say, wait, what? Dark horse? He's less than 8-1. About that. The odds are fucking insane when you look at his speed on intermediates this year. It's actually crazy. So if you're going to get involved with him, you have to get the number up, probably twice the current number. Your goal is probably 14, 15-1. Now, people are going to say, okay, why Bell? His speed blows on high-speed intermediates this year. Well, I brought this up a few weeks ago on the show, and the trend has continued. Yes, you're right. He's been slow this year so far on intermediates. But last year, he was 21st fastest at Vegas, 18th at Texas, 6th at Kansas, and the fastest guy on the track at Charlotte. This year, he has been faster at every single intermediate. 16th at Vegas, 16th at Texas, second fastest guy at Kansas. What's going to happen at Charlotte this year? I don't know. But supposedly he was the fastest guy on the track last year at Charlotte. So I think that the trend, if it holds, he's going to be a fucking monster Sunday night. Like, I think he could show up out of nowhere this week and be a stud that contends with the normal people that were normally on these cookie cutters. I will have a Chris Bell ticket in my pocket around 20-1 without a doubt, as long as I could get there. Because if I identified this 6 weeks ago and I didn't take advantage of it, I don't care if we made 3 million units last weekend. I'll break everything in my house on Sunday night. So I will have a Chris Bell ticket. Meyer, where are you at on Chris Bell? I asked Ryan. I was like, bro, I'm telling you, look at this. And he's like, yep, Bell, one of my dark horses this week, and Josh Berry. I was like, okay, so I'm not retarded. I just wanted to make sure that you're seeing what I'm saying. And he was like, I am. I said, okay. Where are you at, Mar?
I do have a parlay pending with Bell in it.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I agree with everything you said about Bell. I even put in the notes here. He's just another one of these GGR cars that has mediocre speed at 1.5 this year until he shows up at Kansas. Um, all his active Cup drivers, he has the third best finish here, and he's another elite qualifier. He's going to go out second to last. If he gets out in clean air, he could do the Kyle Larson thing, right? If you're ranking active NASCAR drivers right now, it's Larson, and then it's probably a little bit of a gap, and then it's Bell, and then there's probably another gap, right?
You're talking about you're talking about qualifying.
Well, Larson has been great at qualifying. I'm just talking about skill, like current active driver.
Oh, yeah, I would agree with you.
He also has a win here, one here last year, 2 top 5s here, another great track for him. Yeah, I also took a shot on his to have the fastest lap here at 16-1. It would not shock me if he gets out in clean air and just is a monster.
That scares the shit out of me. That like at least with the most fastest laps,
it rewards consistency.
Right, like some schmuck could pull the fastest lap, right? Technically, I guess.
Yeah, it's just with this Cup car, right? It's hard to get the fastest lap in dirty air.
Okay. I guess
but, I mean, somebody could pull a toe late, right? Come off late off pit road and try to do it, and maybe try to steal a point. I don't know. But there's some crazy numbers. Like, we definitely missed the boat on the most fastest. I mean, the fact that Blaney opened at 30-1 makes me want to just jump out a window, being at work and not seeing that number drop. But
about that, 5 o'clock this morning, I'm in my bed, still haven't slept. Literally cursing you in my bed. Wake up. Don't go to bed, Keg. Get your head in the game, Keg. Are we doing this for fun or are we trying to make a living, Keg?
Those are all actual things I've said to you.
I'm sitting there 5 o'clock in the morning hitting the refresh button like I'm a crackhead waiting to get in the methadone clinic. I'm like, what are we doing? And finally,
I set 2 alarms. I set 2 alarms today.
Meyer, 8 o'clock, I tapped out. I was like, fuck this. I'm going.
Yeah, you missed it. You missed it by 3 hours, apparently. I was in meetings until noon, and I saw somebody grab 30-1. I opened it, and it was 7. So the market continues.
That is so brutal. If he gets the most fastest laps this week, that's gonna be a tough one, dude.
The market can. I don't understand why DK even continues to offer it because they have to get slaughtered. By all means, if somebody that's working for the team over there is seeing this, please continue to run that market. It is fantastic. But we just got to be a little more. Okay, every week until this week, it has been at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. your time.
You see? I mean, you want to talk about running bad. You see how I get treated?
Yeah. Well, listen, rest assured, you will be up at 5 a.m. next week, too. Don't get you. So.
Yeah, I will. All right. So, yeah, we'll both be on Bell. Bell is the one guy that has not really been a stud so far this year on an intermediate that I feel could wax this field if it all broke right for him and they come correct with the equipment. So I will be on Chris Bell. Byron at 9-1. I mean, Meyer, he's never not fast. Like going back to the Charlotte race last year, second fastest guy at Kansas 2 in 24, third fastest guy at Vegas 2 in 24, second guy this year at Vegas, fourth this year at Texas, and then 16th at Kansas. But to be fair, he was 16th at
Kansas out.
Kansas out. But he was 16th at Kansas last year too.
Well, he cut a tire this year when he was running top 5. Remember? Went down a lap. Never had pace after he did that. He was good at Kansas too before that.
Yeah. He was the fastest guy at Kansas too last year. Yeah. So, I mean, the guy is, for the most part, a top 4 guy every fucking week in terms of speed. He's got the second best car at Hendrick week in and week out. But I don't know, bro. Like, he just doesn't ever get the fucking job done unless it's by accident. Like unless he's running second all day and somebody hits the wall and he's just there to clean it up. Like, when is the last time we saw him just put his throat on the field and have it?
Well, he did that race that he got out and led 200 and some laps in consecutive laps, and then again lost clean air. Car was never the same. So yeah, I mean maybe that car is just a great benefactor of running in clean air more than most. Uh, Again, he's lucky that he's just typically been qualifying late and running up front. And like you said, he always finds himself kind of in the right place at the right time. I mean, if you're going to run in the top five most of your races, like you're just going to be in a position to catch things late with the way that cautions have been falling this year. But yeah, I mean, so he drifted out to 10-1 on FanDuel this week earlier. I almost clicked the button at 10.
He's 9 right now.
I know he was 10 earlier, and when it went to 9, I don't know what it is about not having the double digit there, but I couldn't click the button at 9. The 10 was appealing. Like, I think I would put him in front of Reddick this week.
Yeah, they kind of like flip flop back and forth, don't they? It feels like every week. Like they're both like right there. One week, one's faster than the other, but they're both like in the top 5 in speed. The next week, the other guy flips in front of the other guy. So yeah, I mean, I don't really disagree. Like, I guess Byron is in that top 5, no doubt, in terms of speed in the intermediate package. And when you look at the guys that are fastest in this package, he does have the best odds on the board. But
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know.
Here's the thing,
week, right? Can't he go out and win every fucking week, I guess? But
yeah,
like,
I mean that's the issue with him is because of that poor performance. He's going to go out early in Group 2 for qualifying. But here, like he has the best average starting position of active people of 3 races at Charlotte. His average starting position is 2.7. Just, I mean, he's just a front runner. He was first in stage 1, second in stage 2 last year here. The guy's fast. Just the numbers felt a little overblown at 10, considering the car.
His last 5 races, he started inside the first 3 rows. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
like,
I think
again,
he's going to go off 20-something this time.
Wouldn't you say of all weeks, that means the least with 400 laps in a race?
Yeah, it's a race of attrition, right? You're just surviving.
Right. Like qualifying doesn't necessarily mean anything this week, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, Kez finished second last year. He drove from 30th, started 30th.
Right. So, yeah, Kez is another one of those guys, man.
Yeah, I know. I got some notes. I don't know what to do with that guy.
If that track changes and those Fords start fucking humming late, he's one of those guys. Like RFK is going to be fucking coming. I bet you. But we'll get there. So I don't know what I'm going to do on Byron. I don't think I will be on him going into the race, is what I will say right now. I don't think I will.
I think this is the more of the same that you say, right? You can't be on everybody. Like we know the good cars. You just can't be on everybody in this 400 lap endurance race.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. KB 14-1. Make it make sense, Adamar. Why is
he the same thing? I don't get the odds right now. No fucking way he should be lower odds than Chase Elliott.
Why is he 14-1 any track that is not a road course in 2025? 14?
The guy went winless last year for the first time ever. He's going to show up here? Outside of Coda, he hasn't showed up anywhere.
Did you ask Ryan or Greg their thought process as to why he may even be 14-1? Like,
no, I have not. But
I don't get it. I mean, like, am I just not remembering the speed he's had this year?
He has an average running position in this package, Keg, 20th. Average running position in the intermediate package, 20th. You want me to click a button on him at 14-1?
That's fucking wild.
Get a grip.
Yeah, get a grip. Yep, get a grip. So that's our official statement on Kyle Busch at 14-1 is get a grip. After Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott 17-1. Go ahead, Meyer.
So I just think the number at 17-1 is interesting here. He had, let's see, so last week at Kansas, I thought he had good speed too, right? He did challenge Larson for the stage win in stage 2, ultimately finished second. I think if they will go one more lap around the track, he probably passes Larson. Ends up winning the race off pit road. Leads the majority, not really the majority, but led a good half of stage 3, and then had to come down and do that pit stop and lost all of that track position. The car fell off the jack. They lost a ton of track position, and the car just never ever really recovered. At comps this year, he has had speed rankings of 13 at Vegas, 17th at Texas, but then he shows up with the 6 at Kansas. He finished 7th last year, came in ranked 2nd in total speed late in a run. So he had run late. I don't know if they continue to show late run again here at Charlotte this year, but the fact that I see Chase Elliott at 17 and I see Kyle Busch at 14, that's the part that shocked me the most. Will I have a ticket on Elliott pre? Probably not, but 17 starts to feel in that range. I think you and I agree he's probably been one of the slower HMS cars this year of the big 4. Would you put him?
Yeah, probably the slowest. Yeah.
Would you think it's more of the same this week? I
Well,
really like Bowman this week, but I'll
here,
let you kind of take it.
here's where I'm at on Chase Elliott, right? The exact reasons why I like Chris Bell this week are kind of the exact reasons why I don't like Chase Elliott this week, because you're right. He was, let's say, just outside the top 5 in terms of speed at Kansas a couple weeks ago, right? But he was much slower at Vegas this year and Texas this year than he was at Vegas and Texas last year, and he was around the same speed this year at Kansas as he was last year at Kansas. So what does that mean for Charlotte, where he was outside the top 10 in speed last year? Like that makes me feel not great about him coming out of nowhere and surprising this week. Like I understand what you're saying. Like if Chase Elliott is 17-1, Kyle Busch should not be 14-1. But I don't know if he should be 17-1 if, you know, Reddick and Blaney are 8-1. Like, like at that point, that makes me kind of feel like he should be in the 20s or like the early 20s.
Yeah, and I think KB should be closer to 28 to 30. I think there's a lot of guys you could make a case for in front of Kyle Busch.
I agree with, no doubt.
Chase Elliott's another kind of Ryan Blaney here at Charlotte. He's only finished one of his 3 races here in the next gen car. 2022, he led 86 laps, but he finished under the DVP policy. He finished 34th due to an accident in 2023. He started in 5th last year, finished 7th. So I mean, he's okay if he could finish the race. Again, like if he has late run like he did at Charlotte last year and kind of a mid to late run like he did at Kansas this year, he could be a contender for sure. But the number's out long enough that you definitely have the ability to wait and see with the 9 car.
You feel better about Elliott or Denny this week? Forget about the number. I'm just talking about in terms of.
I feel like I would prefer Denny just due to race strategy. I mean, what a savvy veteran in Denny. He won't overdrive his car early. I just feel like Denny's probably and better with the tire wear at 100 lap stages, right? I think that Denny's content with playing the long game. He'll run long in the stages if he can get a break with the tire. I would put Denny ahead of Elliott.
Yeah, I probably would too. I don't know. I don't know what to think about Chase. My gut says that he's going to be outside of the top 5 a lot more than he's inside the top 5. But I don't know. He could show up and surprise me. Gibbs. Come on, dude. Like, what? Ty Gibbs 20-1, Meyer. The fact that you can bet this guy and he's got worse odds than Alex Bowman and Josh Berry and Joey, or at least, get out of my face. And Bubba and Busher. Come on, man. I wouldn't bet the guy if he was 40-1. So, where are you at on Ty Gibbs, Meyer?
No real interest. I mean, we can go over the same kind of thing that we do every week with the kid. He did put it on pole last year, led 74 laps, still finished 6th. This year, the car has been running a step worse than it did last year. He's got an average true running position of 18th in the package. And I would just put so many more cars in front of Ty Gibbs. No real interest, no bet. That's about it. I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on the 54 car.
I need overtime in this game, Adam Meyer.
I need you locked in. I don't need you watching Caitlin Clark fever.
Listen, dude, I got Caitlin Clark fever. All right. Why don't you settle down? All right. Yeah, Ty Gibbs, get out of my face. Joey 20-1. I bet Joey more probably in the last few weeks than I bet him in a year. Joey is one of those guys to me this week that I think you can probably count on coming. He'll be coming late if this track changes and they make the right adjustments. I just don't know if he's going to have, like, if the really good guys that are normally there every week at the end of the race are there, I'm not sure that he'll have anything for them. But, a lot of people are probably not going to finish this race. Like, would it shock me? It wouldn't shock me. Do I think he's going to be coming late? I do. Am I running to the window to bet him? Not right now. No, not at this point. No. Where are you at on Joey?
So a little personal achievement. I'm a nobody on Twitter, but when NASCAR posted the quote from Logano when he said he's just lucky that he didn't catch up to Bell because he would have turned him around, I said there's not a more punchable guy in the sport than Joey Logano. Most liked tweet ever from me. So I'd like to just put that feather in the cap because Logano's a rat. So anyways, outside of that, Logano has not been bad this year. He comes in ranked 10th in the package in terms of true performance ratings, 9th at comps. He was 6th overall in speed at Vegas, 8th at Texas, 12th at Kansas. Really not a friendly track for Joey either. He's finished 20th, 21st, and 14th. So, I mean, like you said, not in a rush to bet him, but
a little attrition makes the right calls on pit road. Track
we always say it. Who's more of a rat than him showing up late in races that he has no business winning?
Yeah. I could see us getting on Joey at some point during this race, no doubt.
It definitely carried more speed this year than they did last year going through these 1.5s, so wouldn't shock me.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, I'll be watching him, no doubt. Alex Bowman, 22-1. I mean, what can you say? Top 5, 6 guy in the package this year. Could he win? Yes. I'll tell you, you want to know my biggest issue with Alex Bowman this week?
He's not a finisher?
I'm not sure he's skilled enough to be able to communicate the changes that are going to be needed during that race in order for them to keep up with the track. Like, I think that's what, like, we know he's going to have speed, but he can make an adjustment and go the wrong way. I think probably you can probably count on that from him than a lot of guys that we've already spoke about that I think have a better command of how to communicate the issue and change the car as the track is changing. That would probably be my biggest issue with him. But, you know, in terms of speed in the package, I think that there are maybe 5 people that have been faster than him this year. So, I mean, yeah, the number's fair, 22-1. He could win. Where are you at on him?
Love Bowman this week. But I love what I'm just going to assume are going to be decent numbers on his positional props. I think this top 10 and this top 5 are interesting. The guy, like you said, the guy's had speed, man. True performance ratings on comparables. He was 3rd at Homestead, 5th at Kansas, 8th at Vegas, 9th at Texas. He's run almost 70% of his laps this year inside the top 10. He's just had speed. He's just a consistent driver, but like you said, I don't think he's a great front runner. And I don't know if he could hold off another strong car late in the run. He just doesn't feel like a finisher as of right now.
Like, it's not good. It's not good when you're not a good front runner, and we also haven't seen you have the ability to drive to the lead and pass the top 5 cars on the track. Because as fast as he's been, he hasn't been able to do that but one race this year, and he had it for about 30 laps and then lost it.
Yeah, and I don't know how much of that was just literal pressure he felt from Larson running him down at one of Larson's best tracks, right? I think he was forced into playing a game of trying to run a line he wasn't comfortable running, trying to get speed out of a car that wasn't going to be better than Larson, and he ended up putting in the wall multiple times and ultimately giving up the spot to Kyle. So, again, I just don't think he's got the mental ability. I don't know if it was mental ability, but I don't think he is a great front runner with a race on the line.
Well, if you're not a good front runner, you got to at least be able to pass the fast cars on the track. And I mean, we haven't seen that really either.
Yeah, like I said, he's going to go off. He's going to go 4th to last in qualifying. I'm interested in what his pole number will be. Again, HMS Motors. I think 6 for 6 in the intermediate package, putting it on pole. He's put it on pole this year. Earlier,
are you worried about him being able to make the changes as the track changes?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think he's finished outside of the top 10 in any Charlotte race in the next gen car. That's why I'm more interested in his positional props than outrights.
Yeah, I mean, he's been very good here. Very good. 5, 6, 7, 10, 4, 9.
Yeah, it's a good track for him. But I just don't know if he's got it. I don't know if he has the car to be the winner.
I could, like, if the number's right, I could get down with the top 5 and top 10 market. I just don't know if he could win, dude.
I agree. 100%. But I would still put him. He has a better shot at winning this race than Kyle Busch.
Oh yeah,
14-1.
Just based on the speed that he's showing alone, 100%. Ross Chastain, 22-1. I mean, I don't know, dude. These Trackhouse cars are just fucking. They're dumpsters. They're just not fast.
Yeah, another guy running around in 20th average running position in this package. No real interest.
After him, Josh Berry and Bubba Wallace, 22-1 and 28-1. I mean, both these guys have been probably top 8 in the package this year. They're both going to be very fast. Do I think they could win? I think I feel better about Berry because he's going to be in a Ford and they just tend to run really well at night in the cold. But I mean, both these guys, the number is fair based on the speed that they have shown in the package. If it all went right for Bubba, maybe. If it all went right for Berry, maybe. But I think you can count on them in the props markets, as long as it's not a battle of attrition and they hit the wall or cut a tire or something like that. They're going to be fast. Where haven't they been fast? So I don't know if I will bet any of them to win the race. But I don't mind at least the prop market right now. Where are you at with Bubba and Berry?
We couldn't be more in lockstep. So the Berry car is just, it's been fast. He is ranked 6th in true performance in the intermediate package. He's had speed, man. 7th at Kansas, 3rd at Vegas, 3rd at Texas. But I put a note down here that he's just another guy I'm looking at for positional props. I think he's another guy that's a top 10, top 5, potentially a top Ford. I think I saw his top Ford market was 7-1 today at DraftKings. If Blaney does Blaney things, again, Blaney's only finished one race of the 3 in the next gen car. If he shits the bed, Josh Berry could definitely top Ford this race. This is a tough market that we've chased this year, and I don't know if we've actually cashed a ticket in the top.
We haven't. We haven't. Oh, I know. If you would like to know, we have not.
I couldn't remember. My memory served me as no, but we could talk more about the props on Thursday's show. But yeah, I love the 21 this week, but I don't know if I would bet him unless I saw it late live.
To win.
Correct.
Yep. Agree.
Again, with Bubba, I agree with you. I think Bubba's just as good as Bubba has been. He still continues to struggle mentally. I think he beats himself up. He's his own worst critic. I just think that he gets in his way more often than not. Can't bet him to win this race unless he's got the absolute nuts. So no interest here.
Busher and Keselowski, where are you at on RFK this week? They both scare me. Both those guys, I think, could win this race.
Throw Priest in there. I think Priest could have a solid car too. Priest has kind of been quiet in the intermediate car too, or in the intermediate package. I like all 3 of them. I think they're all dangerous this week. Kes kind of just showed up at Kansas, and then the lap that he put down at North Wilkesboro was a second faster than everybody else. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Brad K, but he drove from 30th last year to 2nd.
Remember how those RFK cars turned on all of a sudden the second half of the year, and then they were a fucking problem. They were a problem. That could start here. Do you remember what track that was last year, where we lost the ticket?
I thought it was one before. I thought it was 1 or 2 races before. Was it Kansas? He was running out front or second, right? And then he ran out of fuel. It was the race that Logano won?
Or the rain fucked us. He was about
something
to pass
happened with Kez. Well, he also lost another race late. Remember where he ran out of fuel? He had to pull off on the restart, and Logano won because apparently fuel is not a thing in the 22.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the hybrid motor in NASCAR. So, yeah, I mean, Kez is luckily at the number at almost 30-1. There's probably 30-1s out there. You could make the case. You can definitely wait and see what kind of car RFK
I agree
brings.
on all of them. Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it's crazy that Ryan Preece is only 13-1 right now to be the top Ford.
Yeah, I think he's interesting. At Darlington, with the tire wear, he finished 8th in true performance, 9th at Kansas. So I mean, the car has upside, top 10 upside. Another guy, I mean, he's running 14.5 is his average running position in the package too. So I mean, the 60 car could definitely be a factor in props.
Yeah.
Where would you rank him in terms of Fords?
Well, I would rate probably Blaney 1, probably Berry 2, Logano 3, and then all three RFK guys. I think you could put like 4, 5, 6 probably in any order. I
So you
mean,
don't give any edge to Busher over the other two?
maybe. I mean, I don't know. Do you feel like he's been better than Priest this year in the intermediate package?
The last two, I think he has, or the last handful, maybe. But
Kez has definitely been the worst guy of the bunch. I just don't know if you put like Busher or Priest 1, 2, either way. I don't know.
what we were saying, it wasn't even 2 weeks ago before the Kansas race kicked off about Brad being the slowest car on the track almost.
Period. Yeah.
That car was just abysmal week to week.
Yep.
But I mean, Kansas might have been a true tell. I mean, I don't know. I think he was definitely going to challenge for the lead before he cut that tire.
Yeah. I mean, those cars are going to turn on at some point this year. I would assume, like they did last year, and when they do, they're going to be definitely in contention for the wins. After
Agreed.
Kez, Briscoe, no.
Nope.
You,
No, not with the speed that car's had. On
Hocevar,
top of the speed that
Hocevar at
has.
41-1. I can't. It's just too long of a race.
Yeah, the guy was 81 or 80-1 or 100-1 a handful of weeks ago. I mean, with
Right.
his aggressive driving style and 400 laps to fuck it up at one point,
Right.
can't bet Carson.
Right. Cindric's been better at 45-1 than we would have ever thought he would be in this intermediate package, especially compared to last year. I mean, he could be a factor in the props market this week.
100%. He's been fast. I mean, again, his true average running position in the package is only 13th. He's had speed. Uh, you could make the case he's been faster than Logano this year.
Yeah, at some places, yeah, for sure.
I'm not sure if you like or you dislike Logano more than Cindric at this rate.
I don't know. I don't know. I said the kid was a nepo baby, and then he fucking won and cashed the ticket in front of my face. But I mean, at 45-1, if the props market is intriguing enough, I could see it.
Yeah, you know what's weird? So I was looking through. I guess we could talk about when we get through the outrights.
Yeah, I mean, after Priest at 45, I don't think that there's anybody worth talking about that could actually win this race. You?
Right. No. No, not at all. I mean, I don't even think Carson makes the cutoff, right? I think the safe cutoff is Kozlowski.
Yeah. Maybe in a perfect world, Cindric or Priest find something when the track changes and like surprise somebody in a perfect world. I mean, at least they've had speed where you could be like, okay, maybe if they really came correct this week, maybe. But I mean, yeah, I'm with you. Outside after Keselowski, you're reaching, I think, for an actual winner in this race.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say right now, my top 4 would be Larson, Blaney, Bell, and I guess Byron. And then I'll say that the dark horses would probably be Bowman, Berry, Bubba, and then RFK, all of them. Where are you at with your top 4?
Obviously Larson. I agree. I'm right there with you. It's not sexy to say that Byron's in there as well because I mean they're all like the favorites here, but I agree with the dark horses 100% too. I'm definitely interested in Barry. Barry was very good here. In Xfinity too. I think he's about the longest shot that I would take in this race. Pre. And I even then, I don't think I'll have a ticket on him. I think we'll probably just go into this race with the 3, with Larson, Blaney, and Bell, and probably just adjust live.
Yeah, that's kind of probably where I'm at too.
And, I know you're kind of leaning in the F1 race. Maybe this is a one of those races where we take a shot on the maybe teams and not necessarily dial it down. Maybe we take a shot on manufacturers in parlays too, get numbers up, try to get a floor on some of these cars.
You're saying
Just
for
options.
Ford, Toyota, Chevy?
Yeah. I'm sure if you did the math and you split it 3 ways, you're probably just better off just betting the 1 leg versus the 3. But
Right.
the
Yeah,
teams might not be a bad way to go.
that's true. Do we have team odds out yet?
Yeah, Caesars has them. ESPN has them. Don't know if you'll have to check BR. You get different BR odds than I do.
Yeah, they have teams at BR for me. Yeah, I mean, like, the 23XI number is interesting because it gives you Reddick and Bubba at 650. I mean, if you can get the number up there, that's not bad. If you can get the number up on RFK, it's 12-1. I mean, all 3 of those guys might be coming late. Actually, that's not bad, 12-1.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I think the only teams I would probably bet are Hendrick, 2311, and RFK.
You're gonna leave JGR out, huh?
Yeah.
You not even Penske? What's the number on Penske?
5. It's not great.
Yeah, but I'm not talking straight, right? If you could get that number to 10,
But I kind of like I'm probably gonna have 2 tickets on Blaney, and I think I'd rather just bet Logano straight at a much better number if we can get it during the race. Like, do you really think Cindric could win?
but where does he go off? The grid doesn't matter. No, I mean, not really.
Yeah, I really don't think so either.
Yeah, I mean,
And like, I'm not like, if I would just already going to be on Bell. If I was going to bet Gibbs, I would just bet Denny. Like, Briscoe and Ty Gibbs win this race, we're going to lose a shit ton of money, bro.
you act like we're not going to make a bet live. Calm yourself.
I know,
We'll
but
figure
like,
this out.
but what I'm saying is, like, I'm okay with going. I can't bet Chase Briscoe and fucking Ty Gibbs. Not
No.
this week. I can't. So like,
Yeah, and like you said, yeah, it's a good point. You're already going to be on Bell in some way, shape, or form. So
we're already
like,
on
Denny's
Blaney.
your 1 out.
Right, and then Logano's probably your 1 out. So like, that's Gibbs and Penske right there. So I think 2311 RFK and Hendrick would be what I would try to get the number up team wise. I don't think anybody else could win.
Yeah, I think I'm there with you.
All right, boys. That is the outright market for the Cup race for the Coke 600 this week. We will be back Thursday night. We'll go through all the props. We'll talk about some trucks and Xfinity then. And that's it. Big weekend ahead. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, word to the wise. If you're planning on watching this race, get your stats ahead of time because it's going to be a long day from Indy to F1 to Charlotte. It is going to be a day full of a lot of laps and a lot of racing. So strap in.
Hey, when does what time is the F1 race?
I think it's early. Let me get you a time. I don't even know where they are. Give me
At least the good news
they're
is
in Monaco.
The Saturday show won't be super long. So I'm going to try to go to bed early on Saturday. for a
Yeah.
full day of racing on Sunday.
No shot you're doing that.
Listen,
I mean, it's
bro,
cute that you think that.
nobody makes me bleed my own blood out of my heart, right?
Are you sure?
Except,
Your doors do.
I guess that's fair. Hey, bro, but they heal, right? They always heal
Do they fully heal before they
before they
back
get
open?
ripped back open. It depends. It depends on how the month is going, but yeah, for I'm hoping that they will be fully healed. Yeah.
All
All right.
right. 8. It looks like 8 a.m. Central Time. So 9 a.m. your time is the F1 race on Sunday.
9 a.m.
So get your sleep in Saturday, big boy. You're going to be up early on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to be up for that race too, which sucks, man. God.
Well, you're going to have to be
wait,
tuned in for qualifying runs on Saturday too.
wait, I'm saying like, I'm gonna have to be up. I'm gonna be literally recording the Sirius XM show. It just hit me. We're back this week, so I'll be recording that at 9 a.m. So yeah,
I'll
I'll
have the
be.
race on in the background.
Oh, I will. I'll be done with that at 10 though, so it won't be that bad. All right, we're out of here, boys. We'll see you guys back here Thursday night for the prop show. For Meyer, I'm Keg. We'll see you guys. Oh, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, you fucks. Also, use the promo code Nuke the House for a 1-week free trial at nukethehouse.com. We're out. Later.
Later.